My dear friend, let's sit together in this tender, aching moment where you're grappling with the pain of having your loyalty exploited. Those times when you poured your heart, trust, and devotion into someone only to realize they took advantage of your faithfulness. I want to speak to those moments when a friend used your support for their gain, a partner leaned on your steadfastness without reciprocating, a family member demanded your allegiance while disregarding your needs, or a colleague capitalized on your reliability without gratitude. Perhaps you're hurting, feeling betrayed, or questioning why your loyalty was met with manipulation. It's a raw, heavy place, isn't it? You might feel foolish for trusting, doubt your judgment, or fear you'll never be safe to love again. But let me assure you right now, they took advantage of your loyalty, not because you're weak, but because God is using this betrayal to refine your purpose, teach you discernment, and guide you to a destiny that shines for His glory. He sees your wounded heart, affirms your infinite worth, and is shaping a path where your loyalty aligns with His plan. Drawing on Dr. Myles Munroe's wisdom about purpose and relationships, I'll unpack why your loyalty was exploited and show you how to rise with vibrant faith, trusting God's plan and thriving in the destiny He's crafting, not defined by their betrayal or the pain it left. Picture this, you're not alone in having your loyalty misused. Think of David, whose loyalty to Saul was met with jealousy and attempts on his life, yet God used that betrayal to prepare him for kingship. Or consider Jeremiah, who faithfully delivered God's word only to be mocked and imprisoned by those he served, yet his purpose prevailed. Even Jesus was betrayed by Judas, who exploited his trust, yet that betrayal fulfilled God's redemptive plan. Dr. Myles Munroe taught that your worth isn't diminished by those who misuse your loyalty. It's magnified in the purpose God refines through your pain. When they take advantage of your loyalty, it's not a verdict on your value, but God's opportunity to redirect your heart to where it's truly honored. This betrayal isn't your end, it's God's doorway to your growth. Let's explore why they took advantage of your loyalty and what God is doing in this season. First, their exploitation reveals their character, not your flaw. Your loyalty is a gift, but some lack the integrity to honor it. As Proverbs 26 says, many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find. Their misuse is God's way of exposing who doesn't belong in your story. Second, this betrayal teaches discernment. The pain of being used sharpens your ability to choose relationships that align with your purpose, grounding you in God's wisdom. That sting is His training ground. Finally, their actions propel you toward your purpose. The hurt of betrayal pushes you to rely on God's strength, clarifying your calling and preparing you to shine where your loyalty is valued. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is like a river. It flows strongest when obstacles are cleared. That's you right now, being freed in God's hands. I know this season stirs deep emotions. Having your loyalty exploited can make you feel devalued, like your trust was a mistake, or like you're unworthy of genuine love. You might think, why did I let them use me? Or will I always be taken for granted? Perhaps you're tempted to close your heart, stop being loyal, or believe you're too gullible to love wisely. I felt that crushing betrayal of giving my all only to be manipulated, my friend, and it's shattering. But let me speak to your soul. You're not foolish. You're faithful. You're not called to measure your worth by their actions or to let betrayal define your heart. You are a child of God, crafted with a spirit that loves deeply, a purpose that shines through the pain. Psalm 55:22 says, cast your cares on the Lord and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. That's you, sustained by God. This betrayal is God inviting you to shine where your loyalty meets His wisdom. Let me share a story to make this real. I once knew a woman whose close friend repeatedly relied on her generosity, only to gossip behind her back. Devastated, she prayed for clarity and began setting boundaries, focusing on her passion for community service. Her discernment led to friendships that honored her heart, and her work uplifted many. Their exploitation wasn't her failure, it was God's redirection, teaching her to love wisely and shaping her purpose. She thrived, radiant in faith, her loyalty cherished. That betrayal became her testimony, echoing Dr. Munroe's words, your worth is in who God made you, not who misuses you. That's the power I want you to embrace today. They took advantage of your loyalty because their exploitation reveals their character. This betrayal teaches discernment, and their actions propel you toward your purpose. This pain isn't your identity. It's a sign that God is working, guiding you where your heart belongs. Dr. Munroe taught that your purpose is God's priority, not their integrity. When you trust His plan and love with wisdom, you become a beacon, ready for relationships that honor your loyalty. The sting of betrayal might test you, but you'll be too busy thriving in God's purpose, your life a testament to His faithfulness. If you're hurting, doubting your worth in this season of betrayal, hear this: release that burden. You're not defined by their exploitation or the pain of being used. You're defined by the God who loves you, who sees you, who values your loyalty. Don't let thoughts like, I'm too trusting, or I'll always be used, dim your light. You are enough just as you are. God's got a destiny where your purpose will flourish, but you must trust His wisdom to step into it. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. That's God's promise. He guides you. Trust that He's working even now. So how do you rise? First, root yourself in God's affirmation. Stop measuring your worth by their actions and start resting in His unchanging love. Spend time in His Word, letting verses like Psalm 139:14 fill you. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Tell yourself daily, God values me. My purpose is His. I'm destined to shine. When you're anchored in His affirmation, their betrayal loses its grip, and you shine with a confidence that comes from knowing you're His. Next, surrender the betrayal to God. You're not meant to carry the pain of their exploitation. His wisdom redeems it. Take your hurt to Him in prayer. Say, Lord, they took advantage of my loyalty. Heal me and guide my purpose. Write down the ways they used you, then release them, trusting that God's plan outweighs their actions. Dr. Munroe taught that you're called to steward your purpose, not their betrayal. Pray for discernment and seek out one or two who honor your heart, aligning with God's timing. When you surrender the betrayal, you reclaim your peace, and that freedom lets you thrive as God's vessel. Then embrace your God-given purpose. Their exploitation might feel like a wound, but your heart was never meant to be bound by their actions. It's meant for God's glory. Celebrate what makes you you, your loyalty, your gifts, your faith. Pour your energy into what aligns with your purpose. Love wisely, serve with courage, take steps in faith, even through the pain. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is where your discernment meets God's call. When you lean into God's plan, you rise above the betrayal, and the pain of their actions fades into the brilliance of your destiny. To those feeling foolish, thinking their betrayal defines your worth, or afraid to trust again, worried you'll only be used, I get it. The pain of being exploited feels like a theft, and the fear of more betrayal is heavy. But you can't live God's purpose by closing your heart or believing you're doomed to be used. Shining, serving, chasing your dreams. It takes a heart that trusts, and it's safe in God's hands. Don't let their actions define you. Trust that God is guiding you, that He's crafting your purpose, that your destiny is secure. Matthew 5:44 says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. That's you, loving with wisdom. Your purpose awaits when you trust His guidance. Let me share another story. I knew a man whose business partner exploited his loyalty, taking credit for his work without acknowledgement. Heartbroken, he prayed and set boundaries, focusing on his passion for innovation. His discernment led to partners who valued him, and his ventures soared. Their betrayal wasn't his end. It was God's refining, teaching him to trust wisely and shaping his purpose. He thrived, radiant in faith, his loyalty honored. That journey proved Dr. Munroe's truth. Your worth is in who God made you, not who exploits you. So what's this pain holding you back from? What dream are you pausing because you feel betrayed? What purpose are you hesitating to chase because their exploitation left you doubting? My friend, you don't need their loyalty to shine. You need God's call. You need your faith, your courage, your trust in the one who's guiding you. The betrayal may test you, but it can't stop you unless you let it. Rise, release the pain, and step into the destiny God's crafting. The world needs your light, and no exploitation can dim what God's designed. Now let's talk about rising so vibrantly that their betrayal becomes a whisper in your story. Not to dismiss the pain, but to honor God's purpose in you. Shine for His glory, not their validation. When they take advantage of your loyalty, it's tempting to focus on their betrayal, but that's a trap. Instead, use your heart to serve God's kingdom. Share your gifts boldly. Pursue your calling even through the hurt. When you shine for God, your light grows, radiating brighter through the healing. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is God's priority, not their integrity. Let that drive you. Rise with confidence, knowing God's affirmation is your anchor. The pain of betrayal might stir doubt, but trust that your worth is enough, that His plan is perfect, that your destiny is secure. Step out boldly, even in the ache. When you carry yourself with the assurance that God values you, you glow, drawing the right people and moments to you. That confidence isn't just for you, it's a beacon for others feeling betrayed, showing them they can rise through God's wisdom. Rise with purpose. Don't let their betrayal derail you. Wake up each day asking, God, how can I shine for you today? Where do you want my light? Purpose keeps you steady, even when the pain lingers. When you focus on what God's called you to do, you build a life that's radiant, rising above the betrayal. Their exploitation might sting, but you'll be too busy glorifying God to stay wounded, your life shouting His goodness. To rise above this season, cultivate what I call God confidence, the deep knowing that your worth comes from the one who values you, not those who exploited you. Spend time with Him, let His word fill you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That's you, destined for hope. When you're rooted in that, no betrayal can sway you. Your light grows, ready for God's divine connections. Practice gratitude too. It's easy to focus on their betrayal, but gratitude shifts your eyes to God's work. Thank Him for seeing your worth, for teaching you discernment, for guiding your purpose. Thank Him for the lessons, the resilience, the glimpses of hope. Try this each day. Write down one way God's healing you. Maybe it's a new boundary, a moment of clarity, or a step toward your calling. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, but it lifts you above it, turning the betrayal into a bridge to your destiny. Let me share one more story. I knew a woman whose partner took advantage of her unwavering support, leaving her drained and unappreciated. Hurt, she prayed and embraced her calling as a counselor. Her discernment drew clients who valued her wisdom, and her work healed many. Their betrayal wasn't her end. It was God's refining, shaping a purpose that shone brightly. She thrived, radiant in faith, her loyalty cherished. That journey proved Dr. Munroe's words, "Your worth is in who God made you to be." Guard God's purpose in you, my friend. The pain of their betrayal can feel like a theft, but every moment is God working. He's healing your heart, setting the stage for your purpose. Trust that He's not done. Your job is to keep shining, keep loving wisely, keep being you with faith that God provides, and celebrate your light. Don't let their betrayal dim it. Your loyalty, your gifts, your heart, they're all part of the treasure God gave you. Share it boldly, knowing it's enough. You are not defined by those who took advantage of your loyalty or the pain of this season. You are defined by the God who loves you, who sees you, who crafted you for a purpose that's yours alone. You are radiant, irreplaceable, a vessel of divine destiny. The betrayal is a lesson, a sign, a nudge to shine wiser. Root yourself in God's love. Release the pain. Embrace your purpose. Shine for His glory with confidence and faith. Lean into His confidence. Stay grateful. Trust His guidance. Celebrate who you are. Do this, and you'll live a life so vibrant that their betrayal fades into the brilliance of your purpose, glorifying God and inspiring others to trust Him too. Go out there, my friend. Shine like you were made to. Embrace your purpose with every ounce of faith you've got. Let this betrayal be the spark that lights your greatest chapter. The world's waiting for your light, and no exploitation can stop God's plan. You've got this, and I'm cheering you every step of the way.